Buddy, what's up? It's your man, Sesamating, the legend, here to help you get paid. So we got fights coming on this Saturday, UFC Fight Night. It's Sean Strickland versus Anthony Hernandez. Should be a great matchup. There's 14 fights on the card. We're going to talk to you about 8 of them. All right. These 8 fights we're going to talk about, I strongly feel like they are not going to finish. So you can mix and match them. You can stack them all together in one mega bet, however you'd like. But we're going to talk about these 8 fights to keep an eye on not to finish. All right. So first up is we have the first fight of the card. That's Judas versus Miller, Juliana Miller versus Carly Judas. That one is going to not finish. Carly Judas comes in with dynamite in her hands, y'all. Dynamite in her hands. She is ready to just put people on their ass. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen to Juliana Miller. So that first fight of the card, look for that one not to finish. All right. Next one, we got the second fight of the card. We have Jordan Leavitt and Yadir Devale. We're going to go ahead and go with Yadir Devale. Again, the great thing about the way we bet these is that it doesn't matter who wins as long as the fight does not finish. Now, Jordan Levitt is a wet rag of a fighter. I really do feel he's going to get rolled in this fight, especially by the younger, more physical grappler of Devale. And yeah, this fight is not going to go very far. I really do feel this dude's going to get rolled up like a pretzel and submitted. Moving on to the next fight, that again in the prelims or the early cards, it's the Brahimij versus Punali Soriano fight. Yeah, that one not gonna finish. Again, my man Ramiz is coming looking to go ahead and put a hurting on somebody. All right, he's won his last 4 out of 5 fights either through submission or TKO. So what do we think is going to happen? Again, probably going to roll Soriano up like a pretzel. Now the thing about Soriano though is he's no slouch either. And again, that's the great way about how we bet these is that it doesn't matter who wins. It doesn't matter who doesn't win. What does matter is that the fight does not go the full 3 rounds. So that's what we're thinking for this fight as well. This fight will not go the full 3 rounds. Now I know some people might say Soriano is kind of a cockroach fighter where he'll just hang on and stay in there. But again, with what Brahimaj has and what he's bringing for him, again, this fight is not going to go the distance. So that's number 3. We have one more on the prelim card that we're going to talk about, not going to distance. Now, this one is a flyweight matchup. We got Alden Korea versus Luis Garul. Luis Garul, again, he's a company man. He's working on his third loss in just as many fights. And again, Alden Correa, he's coming for him. This kid's hungry. You look at Alden Correa's first fight in the UFC. He won that one by TKO. Very similar opponent. It was an older opponent. He was taller than that opponent by 5 inches. Same kind of thing again. Guriel, shorter than him by 4 inches, older than him by 6 years. So again, Alden Correa is gonna make light work of this guy. Easy peasy, lemon fucking squeezy, baby. Let's get this money. Okay? So that's the 4 for the early fight of fights that we feel that are not gonna finish. Well, I feel are not gonna finish. Moving on to the main card. All right. We have now if you were gonna go ahead and just stack those 4 right there by themselves, that would pay out at plus 534. That's right. Those 4 fights, not to finish, not to go to distance, any fighter winning, just not to go the distance, will pay out at plus 535 right there, just for those 4. Now, if you want to stack them with these other 4 that are going to be on the actual main card, you can do that too, or you could not. Again, it's completely up to you how you want to do this. So let's go ahead and jump into the ones that we feel are going to not finish on the main card. So first one up is going to be Jacoby Smith versus Josiah the Muscle Hamster Harrell. I know both these guys are undefeated. Both these guys are coming in with 11-0 records. You know what that means? Someone's gonna lose. Someone's gonna lose. Um, and I don't give a fuck who it is, but as long as one of these guys lose either by submission or by TKO or KO, we're fine. And that's what's gonna happen. These dudes are ready to brawl. So Jacoby Smith, Josiah Harrell, fight not to finish. Moving on. Next fight after that one, we got Sergey Spivak and Ante Delija. Ante Delija is the older fighter in this one by 3 or 4 years. Spivak, even though Elijah is older, Spivak is he's been around. They've both been around, and Ante PFL, Spivak just in the UFC for such a long time. But I feel like Spivak's time has passed him, and Delijah is gonna go ahead and put him on his ass and knock him out. Now Delijah just got knocked out last fight by Waldo Acosta Cortez, and don't count Spivak out. I mean, maybe he doesn't get knocked out. Maybe he's able to take this guy down at sprawl. Two of the last wins that Spivak has been through submission. Okay, and Elijah, he doesn't really show much of a ground game. He's more of a stand and fight kind of guy. So either way, if it goes on the ground, Spivak will go ahead and get the submission. If it stays on the feet, Elijah goes ahead and knocks his ass out. Either way, it's a win for us, boys and girls. Moving on to the next fight right after them is Dan Ige versus Costa. He calls himself the Dalmatian. He's got the patches and splotches all over his body, and his hair comes out with the little stuff. Last fight he had, man, he won by a spinning back fist. If you look at Costa's fights, though, he's finished, man. He's finished the last fights that he's had. It's He's coming to bang, man. He's coming to bang. I want to say out of the last 5 fights that Costa's had, three of them have finished either through submission or TKO. The other two have gone to decision, and I think that's why some people were a little leery here, just because of Dan Ige's experience and knowledge in the ring and how he can kind of drag a fight out into the deeper waters. But make no mistake here, Costa is looking to end this guy. Costa is looking to put this old man on his ass. Ige is 5 years the senior. Um, he's also, you look here, he's got the same amount of reach. He's also given up 3 inches to Costa in height. But again, Costa is deadly with his combinations, spinning back fists, his finishing moves. So it's again, I don't think this one's going to go the distance at all. And that leads us to our last fight that we feel is not going to go the distance. That's Geoff Neal versus Euros Medic. All right, Euros is bringing the motherfucking thunder, bro. He is bringing the thunder for his ass. Um, Geoff Neal, I mean, I feel like he has been around the UFC for such a long time that he knows how to fight these fights. But Euros Medic is bringing that heat. He is ready to go. You look at Geoff Neal; he's lost 3 of his last 5 fights. The fights that he has won have been by TKO. Okay, so if it's going south and Geoff Neal needs to go ahead and just make something happen, he's still got that dynamite in his hands. But I'm telling you, between Neal's striking and Medic's overall finishing ability, I just feel again this is not gonna make it all the way to the third round. You look at the last fights that Medic has had. Guess what? He's won 3 out of the last 5 by TKO. He's lost the last 2 by sub or TKO. So he's gonna put it all out there. These guys are gonna bang. They are gonna bang. I think this one is probably gonna be a lot more exciting than the main event. That's just my opinion. But yeah. So just to recap, we've got for the main card, the 4 we have for the main card are Smith versus Harrell, Elijah versus Spivak, Ige versus Costa, and Medic versus Neal. Those 4 right there. Again, if you were to just do those 4 alone for the main card, that would pay out at plus 561. Now it looks like this. Now, if you were to stack all 8 of those together, that would be plus 4,094 odds. That means $10 would get you 419. So hey man, take a flyer if you want. If not, if you don't like or agree with all 8 that I've showed and talked to you guys about today, then you can mix and match. But again, these right here, just by looking at the numbers, looking at just the history, the styles of these fights, this is something that I strongly feel is going to hit. So hey, make sure you like and subscribe so you can get more feedback and parlays just like this to help you get paid. If you have been using these for the past previous weeks, please go ahead and put in the comments what worked for you, what didn't work for you, which ones have you been using. All right. Until next time, legend out.